morning, everybody. All right, I'm going to do something extremely difficult. I'm going to get through a lot of information very, very quickly. And anybody who knows me knows that I can yap about this stuff. So if you have questions, let's fold it off, possibly for the end. Hopefully there's time at the end. But if you guys don't know me, you will soon. So here's my favorite question. I do it every presentation that we do. I like to ask people who has an estate plan. So raise your hand if you have an estate plan. All right, good, good, good. For those who didn't raise their hand, I got something for you. Just so you know, it's a trick question. My name is Soluto Uba. Like I said, I'm the founder of the Uba Law Group. We're a law firm that helps people protect their business and family legacy. What that means is we help people protect their businesses, but in BNI, I'm in the estate planning chair, which means we help people protect their family legacy with a will or a trust. I have the distinction of being a Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business alum, and I have the personal distinction of being the Living Magazine Best Business Law attorney for 2024. And we went back to back this year because I just learned a couple days ago that we were chosen for Best Business Law and Best Estate Attorney in Mansfield for 2025. So that literally would not happen without BNI. My life has literally changed. My family's life, my wife's, all of us have changed because of BNI. So speaking of which, this is my wife. She hates it when I say it, but this is my wife, Dr. Uba Uba. She's an accomplished doctor, pharmacist by trade, but I took her out of the drug game, and now she is the director. She's the director of operations at our law firm. Literally took us to the next level. Those are my beautiful children. That's Micah, he's 7. Sophia turns 5 next Thursday, and they're just wonderful. I'm also about to get a whole bunch of more daddy bucks because I scored a Nintendo Switch 2 in the middle of the night yesterday. So I'm excited, they don't know about it. So we do business formation, like I said, estate planning, trademarks, copyrights, maintenance, strategy, and speaking engagements. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I like to talk to people about this stuff. Also, it's kind of hard to see, but we have over 436 videos on our YouTube page. If it comes to business estate planning, I tell people just type in your question, type Uba Law Group, I probably have a video on it. So if we can't work with people directly, we want to find ways to serve them in many different avenues. And then lastly, also extremely hard to see, but that number says 108, I think it's like 114, 115 now, 5-star Google reviews. I'm coming for you, Jason. But we don't say this to brag, but just to impress upon the fact that people really trust us with the things that are important to them, and we're very humbled by that. And we're honored to be able to have that distinction and to be able to use that to draw more people who are looking for good services and good legal help. But I told you the first question was a trick question. I asked you to raise your hand if you have an estate plan. The trick is everybody here has an estate plan. You just don't know it. If anybody dies at any point, the state of Texas has a plan for you. So when I talk about estate planning, I let people know that the state has a plan for you. We want you to have a plan written by you. And so your stuff is gonna go somewhere. So when I'm talking to people at a presentation or a consult, I say people die in 2 ways. Either they go through probate or they don't go through probate. Those are 2 ways that everybody dies. So in order to kind of help you organize that, we want to create an estate plan that has you opt out of the default plan. So when we do our dinners, we're having one at El Primo's next month. I have envelopes for everybody. I have everybody open up their envelope and look at their estate plan. And it's a whole bunch of confusing documents that most people won't understand. But I've thrown them on the screen here. This is the simplified version. But these are essentially charts of what happens with people with kids, married, people without kids, people married, or people not married with kids, people married without, all these different situations that the state of Texas is using to divvy up what will happen to your stuff according to what they believe is best for you. State of Texas doesn't know you though. State of Texas doesn't know your family situation, doesn't know your relationship or dynamic with loved ones or relatives, or that you've got a crazy cousin or a crazy in-law or whoever that you wouldn't want your kids or family members or dependents or anybody to have to be subject to. So we want you to create a plan written by you. So you've got 2 real options, a will-based plan and a trust-based plan. And so I'm just gonna be very candid and put my cards on the table right now. I am a fan of trust over wills for a variety of reasons. And I'm gonna go into those very quickly, but I don't wanna look like I'm throwing shade and hating on wills, but there are just a lot of situations where trust is going to give you what you need. So these are 2 types of plans. First plan, last will and testament. First things first, it's better than nothing. It's way superior than just having the court figure out what to do with your stuff. So you're able to nominate guardians for your children if you have minor children, and you're able to nominate beneficiaries for assets that you own individually. Thank you, Cody. So if you have an asset that is jointly owned with another person, you cannot designate it in a trust because you're not the only owner there. Additionally, with the will, it's not the only owner. Additionally, with the will, you nominate executors to wrap up your affairs. So here's the problem with the will, though. Got to go through probate court. It's a very common misconception. People are like, hey, I don't want my family to have to deal with the courthouse. I'm going to create a will so everything will be settled and they don't have to worry about that. Joke's on you. A will requires you to go through court in order to make it official. A will does not avoid court, it requires court. Another thing, those of us with small children or people who are going to inherit your assets who are nieces, nephews, grandchildren under the age of 18. If they're under the age of 18, they're not a legal adult. They can't inherit anything, even if it's proceeds like life insurance. Because people think that, hey, I'll just put myself in life insurance, those are the main assets. Life insurance doesn't have to go through probate, which is true. But if someone under the age of 18 has inherited life insurance, they can't do it. So what happens is they can't get that money until they turn 18. And then as soon as they turn 18, they get all of the money. And I've never come across a parent, grandparent, uncle, aunt, coach, friend who wants an 18-year-old to inherit $1 million life insurance policy. So we have to figure out ways to do that. So the one thing I tell people, where there's a will, there's a probate. Now, the three main downsides I want to emphasize is that probate is expensive. On average, it'll take between 2 and 7% of your total estate value. Probate is time consuming. Probate in Tarrant, Dallas, Collin County, most counties in DFW, in greater Texas, major counties, the average time that my attorney colleagues are telling me is between 12 to 18 months to get everything completed. And while you're in probate, your assets are frozen. So if you have a business, which is personal property, an LLC is a personal property asset, and you're the only owner, and you die, and you have to go through probate, ideally we want to be able to sell your business or do something so that value can go to your loved ones. If your business is stuck in probate for 1.5 years, what's the value of it? Not a lot. And then lastly, probate is public. Anybody can look up someone filed their will on a Monday. So all that information is public. So if a will isn't the answer, what is? I highly and strongly recommend revocable living trusts. First of all, it's like a will on steroids. A trust does what people assume a will do most of the time. You're able to pick beneficiaries for your stuff, but one of the most important things here is the word revocable. So with a revocable living trust, you can put assets into the trust, you can take assets out, you can change beneficiaries, you can wake up on the wrong side of the bed tomorrow and blow up the whole trust and terminate it and revoke it. You have full control while you are alive, and then after you pass away, your trust will lock into place with the instructions and the orders that you put into there. After you die, your trustees can't make up stuff that they want to do. They have to follow your instructions. But here's the biggest thing that I want to tell everybody, and I've got about 2.5 minutes. If you have an attorney create a trust for you and you have all the paperwork drawn up and you sign it and you get it notarized, a witness and everything, and that's all you do, you just spend a lot of money on a paperweight. Your trust is useless if you don't do what's called funding the trust. So you have to transfer your assets out of your personal name and into the trust. And that's how the trust actually gives you value. Everything that is controlled and owned by the trust bypasses the probate process when you die. That's the secret sauce. So it's not enough to just create the documents, you actually have to fund the trust. And then it solves the problems that come along with the will. You don't lose a huge chunk of your estate in probate court. Your assets can go to your family in weeks and not years, and it's totally private. And then also with kids or minors or whoever might be inheriting from you, grandkids, nieces, and nephews, you can put guardrails and restrictions that, hey, you get this much money at 21, 25, 30, 35, instead of them just receiving everything at age 18. So that's a huge benefit. I didn't think I'd do it. But if you know anybody that is looking for a complimentary consultation, we use this link to give them 30 minutes of just in-depth education. And then also, I talk about this a lot. I love to talk about this in less than 7 minutes. So we have free dinner coming up. We've done this multiple times throughout the years. And technically that's true because it in 2024, actually 25, so that's years. We do them multiple times throughout the years. And our next one is July 1st. Our next one is July 1st. It's a Tuesday. It's going to be at El Primo's from 6 to 8. It's a more in-depth long form time to go over all of this and to explain what I just said here and really answer questions and give people a lot of opportunities to ask these type of things in a calm environment. And then lastly, for the event, we're having a special giveaway. We're going to have a $100 Amazon giveaway. The only thing you need to do to enter is to send somebody to the El Primos event and have them register on Eventbrite. The event is totally free dinner for them. $100 gift card going to one lucky winner who sends people to the event.
What date?
July 1st, Tuesday, July 1st.
Okay, really wait, we got time for one question.
I want to ask on behalf of all the parents. So if I have two kids, if parents have kids and one of the parents passes away, does the other parent automatically become full custodian over those children?
No, most likely that parent will, but it's not automatic. You actually have to go through the court. If a parent dies, it's a whole wheel, but there's not an automatic assumption of ownership of custody over the kids. And oftentimes people think that, hey, it's just ipso facto, but the court has a lot of different things that have to do to make sure that the welfare of the child is provided, best interest of the child standard. But all these different things are important, so you have to have a plan, because there's no one who's ever regretted coming up with a plan for their family, loved ones, whomever. Great.
All right, good job. Good job. I think now, guys, remember, it's always a great time to schedule.